So, your girlfriend and sexting, you got a story to tell?
Yes, come on.
Oh my God.
I know the story. Go ahead. Let's lead off with this one. This is the one I was looking for.
So let me figure out how to set this up appropriately. I actually told this story to myself the other day, so I'd be set up to tell it.
That dedication, baby.
Yeah. I ran through this so I could do it smoothly and cover all the points I want to cover. All right, so basically, I'm in this situation where I was seeing a young lady, and after seeing her for maybe a month, her husband calls me one night, and he's like, "Hey." I'm like, "Hey, why are you fucking my wife, bro?" And I'm like, "I didn't know she was married." And I'm like freaking out, and I'm like as upset about it as he is. I'm like, "I didn't know." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, man. That's the end of that. I won't do that anymore." And he's like, "All right." So we end on good terms. And then I talked to her the next day, and she's like, "He's insane. He drinks and he's violent with me, and we've been separated for some time now." She's like, "There's no marriage there." She's like, "That's like my estranged husband who I simply haven't gone through. All that holds us together is like a piece of paperwork. That's not a husband." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's completely different." So we carry on with a relationship, obviously.
Obviously.
And, yeah, I see no reason why not. It's not a real marriage.
I met her. I liked her.
Yeah.
I didn't meet her like you, to be
No,
clear.
Woody's not down for the seconds.
No.
No. But she drove us around at Killington, and she seemed sweet.
Yeah, she's a very nice young lady. So, we text back and forth. She doesn't live right by me. So, obviously, sometimes there are some adult texts that get sent back and forth.
Obviously.
She might send me a photo, and in return, I might send her a photo.
I don't believe you.
So, she may or may not have it.
Oh, what, you don't believe him?
I want proof. You have my phone number.
Wait, I shouldn't have said that. I've never seen these photos. He's probably lying. Yeah.
Oh, I totally made you want to say that.
Woody's like wanting to go through my phone, and I'm like, "You better be careful. You might see a little bit of me in there, and it might make you feel like less of a man."
That's unlikely. You're talking to Woody. Come on.
Woody, I thought you had that case of elephantitis at one time.
So anyway, so I've texted her pictures of me, my area down there, and she has returned the favor. So anyway,
that's true.
The crazy husband one night gets a hold of the phone, right? And he's going through the text messages with me, obviously, and he finds that picture, and he is so afraid of it. It makes him feel like so much less of a man that he goes online that night and orders male enhancement products. And after he uses them, he has a horrible side effect where his entire manly area breaks out in red blotches and blisters.
Oh,
that's so awesome.
Did he send you pictures of that, or how do you know?
No, she tells me about this. So, because he's he's just like, "This is bullshit. This guy has such huge cock, and it makes me feel like less man. And now I've got blisters everywhere because I was trying to get it bigger." And it's just like, and I'm over here hearing this, and I'm just like, "Oh, right."
Yeah, baby.
You gave yourself a dick high five? You're like, yeah.
Yes. I pull my waistband out, and I'm like, "High five, little man." And he reaches up with his little cock can, and he goes, "Ka-ka!" I don't even have to reach down for him. He reaches up to me.
And then he does the worm. Like, yeah. You like the boogaloo? That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm like the James Bond of bowel movements.
As I think back to my school career, from elementary school through high school, I think one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to anyone, and when it does, everybody always knows, is this guy. I won't say his name because there are people who listen to this who would know him. But
poor Scott.
No, I promise it was not that guy. He was just a friend. But he shit his pants in the second grade. It was second grade for sure. And he's in the bathroom, and in our classroom, instead of having a bathroom that you had to walk to, it was attached to the classroom. You walked to the back of the classroom, and there was a bathroom there.
Okay.
And he's in there, and the teacher's like, "Billy, you need to come out," made up name. But he's like, "Can't." She's like, "Why not?" "Can't." She's like, "You have an accident?" "Yep." "Is it bad?" "Uh-huh." Do we need to call your mother?" "Oh, yeah." but apparently he had just like shat all over himself.
Oh.
His mom walked into the bathroom with like a new set of clothes and a trash bag.
Oh no.
But think about this. That was like 20 years ago, and I still remember that shit.
So this story is like 3 or 4 years ago. My cousin calls me, and apparently like he had some issue with some other people. They were going to have to go fight, and apparently there was like 6 of them, and there was only 2 of us. So I was like, well, is there anybody else we could get to go with us? And he's like, well, we could go get Uncle Terry. And I'm like, I don't have an Uncle Terry. He's like, yeah, but I do. He's my mom's brother. And I'm like, I don't know him. And he's like, well, he just got out of jail. And I'm like, what'd he do? He murdered someone. I'm like, how long has he been in there? 35 years. How old is this guy? I don't know. He's like 50s, something like that. I'm like, dude, we're not taking like a 55-year-old dude to this fight where, we're like 17, 18. I'm like, we don't need some old dude slowing us down. He's like, no, trust me. This is the guy we want with us. So I hop in Scott's car, and he takes us to a trailer park, and we hop out, and like this isn't a nice trailer park. This is a pretty rough establishment. This is
A Robert Bowling trailer park.
This is Robert Bowling's trailer park, and South Clown, and so we go into this, and all right, this is funny right from the start. We get out of the car, and this figure opens the trailer door and looks down at us and goes, "Who's that out there in that moon wagon?" We're in a Blazer, by the way, so I don't know what the fuck made it a moon wagon. But like Scott goes, "It's me, Uncle Terry." He's like, "Oh, who you got with me?" I got Kyle with me. He's like, "Come on in here." So we go into this guy's house, and he's sitting there with his 2 daughters who are like, I don't know, teenagers. One of them has a broken arm, which she got beating up a black girl at school, but that's not how she referred to the individual. And so everybody starts smoking cigarettes, including the young teenage girls, and they pass around ashtrays, which consisted of styrofoam plates. And of course that doesn't work too well. It burns right through. So I'm like, no, I don't smoke. I didn't smoke at the time. So like, we start talking to Terry, and we tell him what the situation is. And he's like, do you have any weapons? Like, straight face, like, you got any weapons? And he's like, well, I got this right here. And Scott's got like this rod. It's a piece of steel. It's like a steel rod. It's a steel rod, yeah, sort of like that, but not as big. It's about 1.5 feet long. And Uncle Terry like picks it up and he goes, yeah. He goes, this is like a black cobra in the desert. And he goes, like a snake. And like, he's like, this is like my black cobra in the desert. You could run a chain gang with one of these. And I'm like, how would you sneak it into prison? He's like, I don't care. Stick it up my ass if I got to. he's like in prison. He's like prison's rough. He's like, lost all my teeth. He pulls out false teeth at this point to reveal that he indeed has no front teeth. And I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? He's like, a nigger. He had a lock and a sock. Hit me in the mouth with it. And I'm like, what did you do? I killed him. He's like, I killed him. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess that fixed that problem. Hell yeah, it fixed it. He's like, in prison, you gotta be mean. You gotta be hardcore. He's like, I'll eat an asshole if that's what it takes. I'll bite your lips off. I don't care. I'm like, all right.
I'm never going to prison.
So at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I don't think we need your services, Terry. We're going to be moseying on out, but good luck to you eating the assholes and, running the chain.
Lips.
And that was the last time I saw him.
This is just craziness.
That guy ran bare-fisted fighting, like a bare-fisted fight club at the trailer park, in which your entry fee was a case of natural light. And I'm not joking. It was winner take all, dude.
I wish I had some epic stories to tell.
It makes me realize if I ever have a shootout with the cops, I'm going to get clapped at the end of it. I ain't going into cuffs. Ain't no asshole eating for me.
There's an interesting story there.
Yeah. All right. So I was talking to someone. I was talking to someone the other night who had been a Marine, and he was talking about being in Japan, and him and like 4 of his buddies finding this hooker on the streets and going back to her place. And I guess they were like, at some point, yeah, let's have sex. And she's like, okay, but you can't fuck me. And they're like, why not? And lo and behold, it's really a man. It really has a penis. I was like, oh, that's crazy. So what'd you guys do? He's like, oh, we beat the shit out of him. And I'm just like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, just beat the shit out of him. Then we went back to the boat. And then Mikey said, I'm going to go back and see what's going on over there. I'm going to go back. We were like, all right, dude, whatever. So we asked him the next day, what happened? What'd you do? He's like, well, he wanted somebody to fuck him, so I fucked him.
Dude, you told me this story before, right? And it didn't sink in until just now. Mikey is definitely gay, right? Like, he finds a prostitute that I guess is a transvestite or something, because they didn't realize it was a guy at first.
Yeah.
And then they beat him up, right? So he's like repressing and sort of, oh yeah, gay bashing, grr, I'm not gay. And then he goes, you know what?
But that butthole might be extra tight.
This might be for me. And he goes back and he's like, I showed him. I
My
fucked
penis.
him. Yeah. And it's like, dude, no, you found a tranny, and then you were like, damn, I'm going back. And he did, and then he had sex with the tranny. That, like, there's the whole, that is a gay person.
Yeah, I know. That is the definition of a gay person.
Yeah.
This is like a black cobra in the desert.